Alright, it has been a while since I've played this game, so this should be good. This should be interesting. I'm excited to get back into it. I've only played it the one time, and it was real good. I am forever a fan of Fulbright, who is actually local to where I live, so supporting local businesses while streaming. What do you say? I think we should just say what what the game says. How about that? We're gonna just start a brand new game. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Those are the controls.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
Taking the red eye home. Katie, I'm sorry I can't be there to see you, but it is impossible. Please, please don't go digging around trying to find out where I am. I don't want Mom and Dad or anyone to know. We'll see each other again someday. Don't be worried. I love you, Sam. Alright. Give me 1 second to adjust here. And here we go. It's locked. You gotta have a key somewhere, right? Maybe under this. Nope. Christmas stuff under the duck, yeah. Check the contents of my backpack with L2. L1. Let's see here, it's my passport. I got it to go on my Europe trip. This is my boarding pass back from my year in Europe. Spare key that was hidden under old Christmas duck. Cool. Okay, a bunch of stuff that we are moving around, apparently.
Dear Katie, so much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm in a new school. And my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. doesn't feel real. But I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal, just like I was talking to you.
Goodfellow High School. What do we got here? Janice Greenbriar, senior conservationist. We play as Caitlin Greenbriar. Look very similar, but I believe that's mom. Wait. Creepy. What's it say? Regional track and field. First place, Jamie Bloom, Carla Jones, Shauna Rossi, Caitlin Greenbriar. Hey, that's us. Same here. Okay.
Sam. Sam. Hello. Sam.
I just was gonna do the same one.
Sam. Sam.
Yeah, seems like the same one. Daniel from the old neighborhood called. He wants to come see the new house. Call him back. Mom. Daniel is a total weirdo. The only reason I ever hung out with him in the first place
Where are
is...
you?
Oh boy.
Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
Caitlin was traveling all over the place. Sam, Katie, Mom, and Dad. So we have a younger sister. Ooh, spooky. So we just left the foyer. And is there a light switch? There we go. Hi, Mom, Dad, and Sam. I'm in Paris. I've done many Parisian things, including eating le petit déjeuner and wearing a beret. I'm going to have lots of film to develop when I get back. Sam, I'm bringing you back something from the Shakespeare Book Company, since you're my favorite sister. Love you all, Katie. New house. She thinks the new address is weird. Oscar Doc Mason. Oscar Mason, 60, of Boone County, died peacefully last month in his home. Mr. Mason was born on September 8th, 1933, in the house that would be his home for the rest of his life. He attained his degree in pharmacy at a young age and returned to Boone County to practice. He quickly became a well-loved figure at the center of the community. In the decades preceding his passage, he was seldom seen outside his home. A service will be held this Sunday at the First Methodist Church at 1 p.m. All are welcome. His survivors include his nephew Terrence Greenbriar, as well as, in spirit, the people of Boone County to whom he provided wellness and comfort. Terrence. Is that the dad? Yeah, Terry. That's dad. So dad's uncle. Right? Yeah. Catchy playing cards. Photo of some girl. So, oh, there's a door here. We hope that you are welcome new student. We hope you're as excited about your first day at Goodfellow High School as we are. Please be sure to bring the following with you on your first day classes so that you can get right into the swing of things. One sturdy folder with pockets for each of your 6 class periods, one lined notebook per period, or one large notebook with 6 divided sections, at least 6 pens, blue or black ink, and 6 pencils, 1 box of colored pencils, a standard combination lock for your assigned locker, a nutritious lunch, or $2.50 for a lunch provided by the school cafeteria. $2.50, that's like nothing. Positive attitude. Please remember to get plenty of sleep the night before and be ready for the first bell to ring at 8 a.m. See you soon, and welcome, Beth Valance, Principal.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House girl. Great.
Don't like this. Creepy. Just a binder. Pioneer CLD's D703 combination laserdisc compact disc player, MSRP $1,000. Remote with backlight, double-sided, play headphone out, display on off, jog/shuttle dial, blah 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 blah, a lot of specifications. They say that a jack of all trades is a master of none. I have to disagree. Mastery is not a question of specialization, but sureness of purpose and dedication to craft. If you happen to be in the market for a combination LD/CD player, you'll be glad to know that Pioneer seems to share this particular something. Early spaceflight utopia. Alright. That's technically an over too early time. What if JFK wasn't JFK? Back to basics, sent back to time to set back in time to Dallas, 1963 again. You can do better. Paradox results in JFK death being desired outcome. Why not disrupt motorcade minutes before LHO can fire? More lights, please. Oh, I don't have that combination. Well, John Russell opened his eyes and saw them. The stars twinkling as if they were lying on the grass in his family's yard in Massachusetts, even though that place was a million miles away. No, he blinked the sleep from his eyes, looking through the carbon-reinforced safety glass of the space station Archimedes. Yes, he was a long way from home, but the future needed him. John Russell's head swam. He felt incredibly drunk, despite not having touched a drop in hours. He vomited onto his feet, his bare feet. He stared for a moment. Process? processing his sick-flecked toenails, scanning up his bare shins, bare knees. He was completely naked. We looked up and met the eyes of a gorgeous blonde woman wearing a tight polymer fiber tunic. The fabric that strained at the seams to continue her generous bosom was emblazoned with the phrase "matter transference operator." Then he passed out. John Russell had crossed the gap in time. Only messages has passed before. But now, man, they needed him, now more than ever. Changing the past was no longer good enough. The instructions from the council had been clear: what to procure, what to construct from it, how to assemble it. So he made the machine how to transport his bodily across time. A lot more typos than this last page. Stood there on the bridge of the starship, Archimedes, command of the vessel, because only he who had saved the president's life twice before could helm the Neve crew to their destiny, the fate of the galaxy. There was no combination in that. It's not in the 3-ring binder, right? I mean, no. Electrical inspection form. Wiring in-house is technically up to safety and amperage requirements. However, multiple layers of wiring have been added into structure over the last 100 years. The system is frequently unpredictable. Lights blink out for no clear reason. Pressure on floorboards and door frames disrupts circuits wired directly behind the surface. Properly reworking the electrical system would be highly disruptive to the walls, floor, and fixtures of the structure. After discussion with Mr. Greenbriar, since there are no current safety concerns, issue will not be addressed. Great. So lights could go out at any moment. I don't think I'm going to find that combination. Oh wait, what's this? Superb work of speculation, plotted with amazing skill and showing a level of magnetic artistry not usually present in such academic pieces. A thrilling theory. I couldn't put this book down. An important new look at the circumstances surrounding one of the greatest tragedies of our time. Benjamin Almond. The killing of JFK, a theory. You've seen the movie. Discover the truth. Like how she just throws things. The accidental pariah, Terrence L. Greenbriar. A message from our future saved the president's life once, but within the next 24 hours, there will be another attempt and the lines of communication are down. James Bond for today's audience. Compelling, a thriller worth its salt. So Dad wrote a book. Clearly doing some research. What is underneath this? Wow. All right. I don't want to know. Does anybody still care? The male gaze, how to subvert it. this just a dead end? Oh, it's this. Oh, hey, there it is. Dear Terrence, David asked me to write you regarding the reviews you've been submitting the last few months. Frankly, they're becoming more trouble than they're worth from an editing standpoint. There's a word limit. It's your job to stay under it, and not mine to cut back to it. Even then, it's becoming harder and harder to weed out the tangents and non sequiturs from the usable copy without heavy rewrites. The readers of Home Theater Aficionado want to hear about the quality and value of the hardware, not ruminations on your childhood. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be writing this letter. I'd just be cutting you loose. There's tons of guys half your age who would take half the rate to write stuff I could actually use. But David knows you for a long time, and he's the boss. So I'm giving you one more shot on his say-so. You should write him a nice note thanking him for his patience and generosity. Look through your old stuff and start submitting reviews like that again. Then everybody will be happy. Brent Kurtwood, reviews editor, Home Theater Aficionado magazine. Brent sounds like kind of like a jerk. 0451. Alright, so Dad was writing for a review company. He did these reviews, reviewing home theater stuff, but also writing his own book on the side. 0451, right? Dear Mr. Mason, please find and enclose your original document and a typed copy of your records. The notarized copy has been filed at our offices. Thank you for entrusting our firm with this important matter. Will and Testament. I, Oscar Mason, possessing full competence in my mind and memory, and after full survey of valued items to my name, do hereby declare this document my last will and testament. So this was Dad's uncle. The following shall hold true upon my passing. I declare that I am a lifelong resident of Boone County, that I am unmarried and have no children. I declare that I have no outstanding debts to my name to any creditors living or dead. I do hereby bequeath every item to the value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres located at Arbor Hill, as well as any and all personal property and moneyed accounts, to my nephew Terrence L. Greenbriar, Jr. of Ellis County. In the event that said Terrence L. Greenbriar, Jr. should predecease me, then in such event the bequeath to him shall fall, and the same is bequeathed to his children, and ordered by age and competence as stewards of the estate. I subscribe my name to this will with this 13th day of August 1973, signed Oscar Mason. I'm assuming that's just the written version. Okay. So we got the house from Uncle. Got it. Hey, are you the new girl, Sam? I'm Tommy. I'm at the back behind you. Wave if you get this and write back. Hi, Tommy. Yes, I'm Samantha, and yes, I'm new. What's up? I just thought since you're new, maybe you could use a friend. I don't have a lot of friends either, so I thought I'd ask something if you don't mind. Do you mind? Yes or no? No. No, I don't mind. What did you want to ask? Was it just your uncle who went psycho, or does it run in your family? Yeah, Sam was having a hard time.
And Wistaria County. Residents are strongly urged to stay indoors and secure all windows and doors. Flood conditions are expected at lower elevations.
So there's a storm ruin. Thanks, Dad.
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk, but sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform. She's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
Hi Terry, enclosed please find a Pioneer unit with remote and cables. We need half-page review for the October issue, so that gives you about 2 weeks to get us the copy for edit. Standard stuff like you give us on the CLDD 502. It's a combi player, so check its CD playback with a few discs, as well as the Laserdisc, and they want us to definitely hit the signal-to-noise ratio and toss-link stuff for high-end buyers. Looking forward to your take on it. Enjoy the unit. Dave. Okay, we're done with that. Let me get the fan going. Might get a little muggy. The Heaven at the Edge of the World, Samantha Greenbriar, Grade 2. Story, The Turtle People, Part 1. Captain Allegra looked off at the ocean. It went on forever, or so it seemed. Someday she would find the edge and get to the paradise there. Then she heard a cannon fire. Boom! It was the black pirate ship. She yelled, "I thought we lost them at Horse Island." The first mate said, "Looks like you thought too soon." The black ship came up along the side. Captain Black himself came out on the deck of the black ship. He yelled to Captain Allegra, "You never gonna find the edge. There ain't no paradise, and your father were a liar." Captain Allegra yelled back, "Then why do you keep following us, you imbecile?" The first mate yelled out, "We'll stop you, Captain Black. We'll find the edge of the world, and you'll see her father was no liar." The battle kept going until Captain Allegra's ship got away. "Now west," she said, and the ship sailed towards the sunset. Oh, Sam's a better writer than her dad. So, the girl in the army uniform is this girl that Sam was talking about in her journal. This is Department of Agriculture. Okay, so this is what Mom was up to. She was working for the Department of Agriculture, apparently. Squishmaster. Reproductive System Worksheet 6. Below are 2 stories. The events are all out of order. Get a sheet of lined paper. Write Reproductive System Worksheet number 6 at the top. Then choose one of the 2 stories, A or B, and rewrite it. Begin with the title, your name. Find a topic sentence to begin your paragraph. Put the sentence in chronological order. Make sure the last sentence is a good concluding statement. The menstrual cycle. It travels through the fallopian tube. The ovary releases the ovum. About 2 weeks later, since the lining of the uterus is not needed for pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. It is incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. If the egg doesn't meet a sperm, it dissolves. While the ovum is developing, the lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. An ovum starts to develop. B. I am produced in the testicles. I go from the vas deferens to the urethra, the life of a sperm cell. I go through the cervix and the uterus and into the fallopian tubes in search of an egg cell. I develop for 2 or 3 months in the epididymis. When the penis becomes erect, I leave the epididymis and travel up into the body through the vas deferens. As I pass the prostate gland, the seminal vesicles, and the Cowper's glands, fluids are added so that I can live longer and swim more easily. Without me, an egg cell couldn't begin the amazing process of reproduction. The urethra carries me, along with about 200 million other sperm, out of the penis in a process called ejaculation. If I can find the ovum before the other sperm do, I will be the winner, part of a fertilized egg. Samantha Greenbriar, Period 4, Health Class, Miss Myers, Reproductive System Worksheet 6, The Menstrual Cycle, a novella. The early morning of September 1st, 1939, Essa Glatz stares out the window of the train as it travels from Vienna back to her home village of Wheelum in Poland. As the train rambles along and the sun rises out of the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she is engaged to wed. Meanwhile, deep within her guts, an ovum starts to develop. Essa's train approaches its destination. Her heart races. The lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. As Essa steps off the train, her eyes dart quickly across the gathered crowd. Then, there, her dear Boris, still in his baker's smock. He must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. Over the wheezing of the steam engines, a deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. Dark shadows pass over the station, a whistling sound. Essa, her thoughts only a second faster than the bombs reaching out toward her dear Boris across the crowd. Their eyes lock, and the moment freezes. The flash and smoke envelops him almost instantly. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. The rest, including Essa and, for a time, Borislav, huddle in a half-destroyed church. He is blind, his legs are missing, bandaged with torn bedsheets. Essa's egg will not be meeting a sperm. It dissolves. About 2 weeks later, Boris loses his grip on life. Essa has given up her rations and to keep Boris alive, but rations to keep Boris alive, but in the end, nothing can save him. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for pregnancy, it comes out through her vagina. Essa vows to survive. She sets off to join the Polish resistance as a daring spy and saboteur. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. It is incredible how female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. Teacher says, "See me." Oh, Mrs. Myers. What do we got here? World history. Wow, a lot of vinyl.
Somehow I always knew that someday we'd see through. Now that it's happened, I just can't believe it's true.
Dear Mr. Greenbriar, I write to inform you that unfortunately Mercury Books will be unable to publish a follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Savior, we went ahead with publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower than those of the first, and so our stewardship of the series must end here. It has been a pleasure working as a publisher, and we wish you and John Russell the best in your future endeavors. Oh, Dad.
But hopelessly you got me down. You left your voodoo all around.
I left my trunk in town.
Lots of vinyl. Dad's got a lot of spare books.
I wish you had a weed for me.
Oh, tell me why. Why must I think about it?
Anything good in here? Hi Lonnie, so if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home too, so hopefully that's fine. Right back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can meet in the parking lot after 6th, Samantha. Yeah, I'm totally in. See you there. Yeah, and then I'm gonna kick your butt. Get ready. Doing Street Fighter.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
So Sam left a note for Katie saying, tell mom and dad sorry about the stuff that's missing. She also says, please, whatever you've found, don't tell mom and dad. The attic. Alright, we got a locked door. Okay, we've explored the downstairs, I think, as much as we can right now. So let's go upstairs. Controlled burns scheduled for Boone County. Boone County plumes of smoke will rise above the northwestern region of Boone County over the better part of the next week as part of the Forestry Service run controlled burn of overgrown sections of the Flintlock National Forest. Forestry crews have been preparing their area for months. The burn operation will take place between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly into Thursday, depending on speed of progress, according to the Forestry Service. In addition to removing dead and overgrown vegetation that can lead to wildfires in drier months, the operation will serve as a valuable training tool for the forestry and firefighting personnel involved, said senior conservationist Katie Greenbriar. Smoke will likely linger in the area through the following weekend. Hey, there's Mom. More catchy playing cards. Notice of temporary transfer. Bruce Pendleton, head of personnel, State Forestry Service. To aid in the upcoming prescribed burn operation, a ranger with expertise in the procedure is being transferred to the station in Flintlock National Forest, effective September 2nd, 1994. Please see attached personnel file. The overseeing officer at Flintlock Forestry Station, Senior Conservationist Katie Greenbriar, is charged with supervision of transferred personnel. The duration of transfer will be based upon performance evaluation as well as the recommendation of the overseeing officer. Signed, Bruce Pendleton, August 4th, 1994. Cassette case, Bratmobile, Potty Mouth, for Sam. You're gonna like this one. So that says that you're gonna like this one. Yeah, for Sam. So Sam had somebody make a playlist for him. Bitch theme. Fuck your fans. Cool schmool. Back.
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right. I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around. I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since.
Oof. Sam, you got it bad. To whom it may concern, I, Samantha Greenbriar, am 17 years old, and am therefore an independent, fully functional human being. The fact that you still forbid me from going into the city on my own is frankly absurd. Compare with Katie, who is only three years older than me, and yet you allowed her to go all the way across an ocean to another continent on her own. I just want to spend an evening in a normal, totally safe city on my own, like a human being. And since you may also remember that I have my own car now, you can't really stop me. Warmest regards, your daughter, Samantha. Oh boy. Also, I like this note. I have been leaving all the lights on. It makes me feel safe. Let's see what this playlist is like.
So cool, yeah. Yeah, we're so cool. We're so cool, yeah. Fuck you too, cool schmuck.
Cool schmuck.
I don't wanna sit around and talk about the water. Weren't those a good old days? I don't wanna wonder if you're gonna say hello. I don't wanna wonder if you're gonna walk away. I don't wanna hear how many friends you have. I don't have any anymore.
Sam, I think the creative writing track would be perfect. Exclusive AIDS and Africa, Soul Asylum Live, Eddie Vedder, Loser. Brother 150, this is the one me and my dad are building. Want to go for a ride when it's done? More Groove Magazine. Katie Greenbriar, year 11. Teacher Fletcher, period 5. Subject, shop 1. Metalworking, engraving, grade C-. Not a challenging assignment. Metal plaque for family portrait. Reasonable subject, but not complex. When I said that mom and dad should be replaced with parents' names, I did not mean just add them underneath. Acceptable leveling on edges. Show more pride in work. What else is under here? Anything? Yep. King's Labyrinth, Chapter 2, Fraying Threads. Captain Allegra, still in her flowing skirt and sturdy jerkin, descended the single shining thread into the lower cavern of the labyrinth. She and the first mate, on their own now, grew closer to their goal, the throne room of the dead immortal king of the island. The first mate slid down the line onto the stone floor. She swept chalky bone dust from the front of her canvas trousers and looked up at Allegra. The silken thread, nigh unbreakable thanks to the enchanted moths that inhabited the island, trailed behind, leading their way back to the entrance. From further into the labyrinth, the moaning began to echo. The moaning grew louder and clearer. It turned into words for soft ancient language they could not understand. The king's cursed voice, the hairs on Captain Allegra's arms stood on end. She looked back at the first mate, whose eyes remained locked on the blackness of the passage for a moment too long before noticing the captain's gaze. The first mate nodded silently ahead. Following the king's ghostly song deeper and deeper into the labyrinth, they came upon a rocky gap spilling forth otherworldly blue light. The great basin of the dead king's throne room lay below. Skeletal in rotted robes, the king was hunched over the blue orb, topping his royal scepter. Shadows of his bony fingers danced on the walls like ghouls. As he sang, wailing souls flowed in and one by one through the cracks in the cave walls, pulled into the orb, causing it to glow brighter and brighter. Behind the king, a long staircase hewn from rock led into the chamber from a passage at the top. Allegra said, "We have the advantage in numbers. I will draw his attention." I will draw his attention, and then you, but the first mate interrupted. "No, I am smaller and quicker, and you know dealing with mystic energies like these. I will circle to the other side, get the king's attention, and lead him on a merry chase." She held up the silk line, all traced by this invisible thread, of course, Allegra said. "It is a good plan, but perhaps we should go together." The first mate shook her head. You know this is our best chance. Don't be afraid for me." They grasped hands and exchanged 3 tight squeezes, their palms growing warm. The first mate tied the shining thread to the belt of her trousers, gave a quick salute and a wink, and dashed off. Allegra waited, staring vigilantly, across at the top of the stairs where the first mate was to appear. The king continued his wait. No, no! The singing stopped. The king turned and began walking up the stairs. Allegra wanted to call out, to do anything to stop the first mate from running headfirst into danger. She tried tugging on the line to signal her. No use. The king was nearly at the top of the stairs when the first mate burst through the passageway. She skidded to a stop. Even from across the yawning basin, Allegra could see the first mate's eyes grow wide. She turned and ran. Summoning his undead power, the king left the ground, levitating, gliding behind her with distressing speed. From one dank passage much too far away, Allegra heard the first mate scream. She was already running toward the sound. The line in Allegra's hand went taut, then shuddered. It fell slack to the stone floor. As Allegra ran, she was gathering line, twisting it around her arm. She came to its end. The unbreakable thread dangled limply, its end shredded and frayed in her hand. She tossed it to the ground and ran. Huh. Alright. Somebody... It's got quite the fantasy series. Not a bad writer. Underneath the binder. Well, let's just put that back in there. Got your number. Who's got a crush? Are you going to dance with anyone? Get your friends together. It's time to find out who has a big crush. Is it Matt from science class or Daryl from track? You'll never know unless you get his number. It's very gendered. Something tells me that's purposeful. Pretty standard stuff in here. Diapers? Oh, no. It's just toilet paper. Oh boy. No. Silly.
Lonnie brought her hair dye over today. She said, "I need to fix these roots. Think you could help?" Dyeing hair is weirdly intimate. I don't know if I've touched someone else's scalp before. That's pretty intimate, right? It felt intimate. We looked into the mirror together after, and I expected her to say something about how it looked crappy or good or whatever. But that's when she said, "You're so beautiful." And she was looking at me. Right in that moment, I wanted to say something, but I waited, and the moment was gone.
Yep. Definitely a gendered board game for a reason. Dear Mom, Dad, and Sam, I am in the Channel. This is my second passage through the Channel. I'm on my way back from London. This time going to Brussels, Belgium. I'm sorry I didn't write you on the way to London, but I was too excited about the Channel. London was great. Dad, I know you've always wanted to visit, and I think you really should. You'd love it. If you all wanted to come back here as a family sometime, I guess I could be convinced. Love you all, Katie. Okay, copy of the Bible on whose side of the bed? Dear Jan, oh honey, let me tell you, I understand how you feel. Bob and I have had our down periods. It's become a bit of a way of life, actually. You get used to each other, you live your own lives in the same house, the kids grow up, they go away. I'm sorry this isn't helping, is it? Don't worry, Terry will get over whatever's distracting him. Things will go back to normal, and as for Sam being distant, there's a teenager for you. Nothing to worry about. In the meantime, though, this controlled burn, that sounds like quite the adventure, but let's cut to the chase. This new ranger they sent, that's what I want to hear about. Ranger Rick, you have to be kidding me. It's too perfect. You have to tell me everything. And send pictures. I want the whole package. Wait, that sounded wrong. Keep your chin up until Terry is out of his slump, and in the meantime, write more letters to your old friend Carol. She adores them. Carol, you don't need to feed the fire here. So Mom's side of the bed, so Dad's side of the bed's got the Bible on it. Somebody was rifling through all these. Is that what Sam was talking about as far as missing stuff? Oh. Well, at least they're thinking about, you know, kindling things again. Oops. What do we got here? Watercolor techniques for florals and still lives. Are you a watercolorist looking to improve your skills? So is Bradford Gregory. Once. Since he began painting with watercolors at the age of 40, he has gone on to win countless awards in national and international exhibitions. Now, with watercolor techniques for florals and still lifes, he shares his years of watercolor experience with you. This book doesn't contain lists of rules, but principles and concepts that will lead you down the path to fulfilling your personal potential as an artist. Mom's been looking for something fulfilling, apparently. Oh, she's been reading Leaves of Grass and hiding it for some reason. Collection of Poems was released in form in 1892, but not before it was banned on the grounds of obscenity. He died only 2 months late after its release on March 26, 1892. Seeing, hearing, feeling, and miracles, and each part and tag of me is a miracle. Walt Whitman. Take your time. I'm glad to have it in good hands. Rick. Giving Mom poetry. You know what you're doing, Rick. After the honeymoon, rediscovering your spouse personally, spiritually, sexually. It may seem inevitable that your spark and your spouse share the spark you and your spouse shared on the honeymoon should fade over time, but it doesn't have to. Reverend Alexander Michaels will show you how to rekindle the fire you once had. Part 1 provides simple steps to reopen the lines of communication between you and your spouse, allowing you to face the problems you share as partners instead of rivals. Part 2 leverages the Reverend's decades of service to God, helping you connect with a higher power. You'll draw strength from a spirituality you may not even know you have. Part 3 offers a number of fresh and exciting ideas for the bedroom, including a few things that may surprise you. From the Reverend, I doubt it. The reserves of passion for your spouse run deep. You just have to know where to look. Reverend Michaels will show you the way. Thanks, no thanks, Reverend. They're trying, though. I can appreciate that they're trying. I think I should check out on this side. Nope. Oh boy. A lot of Katie's stuff in this room. Sighting Journal, August 31st, 1994, 1:19 a.m. A tall shadow in the upstairs hall. When I rounded the corner, no one was there. How tall was Uncle Oscar? Note, I was not wearing my glasses. September 3rd, 1994, 12:44 a.m. A faint voice coming from the bottom of the stairs. I said, hello. Did not investigate. Probably was the furnace. September 9th, 1994, 4:11 p.m. Poured milk from carton in fridge. It was spoiled. Pretty sure I read that spirits in sour milk. Milk was just bought yesterday. Ooh, moo. Also, ghost milk. Ooh. October 9th, 1994, 11:24 p.m. Lonnie says she feels a presence in the TV room. I suddenly begin to feel cold. We build a protective pillow fort. October 22nd, 1994, 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. Lonnie and I employ Ouija board as a medium. Disturbing messages are conveyed from the other side. Oscar is definitely here. October 28th, 1994, 10 p.m. to October 29th, 4 a.m. Enlisted Lonnie to stay up all night and help patrol premises, recording any signs of otherworldly presence. Lonnie reported many sightings, but all remained unconfirmed. Possible ectoplasm in attic, probably leaky roof. Probably due to our leaky roof. Sample taken just in case. Despite our best efforts, we both fell asleep at around 4 a.m. All in all, a successful night. Increasingly spending time with Lonnie, so is that just an excuse to spend time with Lonnie? Katie, Mom and Dad were going to make up the guest room for you to stay in over the summer, but you came home on such short notice that they weren't around to do it. You can use my room if you want. I won't be needing it anymore. Okay. Ranger Peter Mock has been indispensable during the course of the prescribed burn preparation and execution. I believe his expertise and dedication has been the deciding factor. I can't do this at the same time. I get it. I believe his expertise and dedication has been the deciding factor in the success of a very complex and challenging conservation effort. In the opinion of the Flintlock Forest staff, Rick's contributions to daily operations have become essential to the outfit's continuing success. To this end, I will be formally submitting paperwork requesting his permanent reassignment to this facility. Janice Greenbriar. Are we talking about Rick, Janice? Halloween show, the Misfits, don't forget your costumes, Gin Lounge, see you there. Well, probably from Lonnie.
Sometimes you just have to lie to Mom and Dad. Like when Lonnie asked me to see a band with her and stay over at her friend's place in the city after. That's a lie to Mom and Dad's situation. But it was so worth it. The girls on stage were just so loud and real and awesome. And everybody was moving together like one huge tide of sound. Between two songs, Lonnie leaned over and said, "How do you like your first show?" I was so happy. I felt tears starting in my eyes. And then she up and hugged me. I think she could tell.
Alright, we just found something groundbreaking here. Lonnie, holy crap, I was in the library and noticed something in the corner and I found a secret passage. And it had Oscar's creepy old stuff in it. Okay, we'll have to check that out. Oh my god, I have got to see this. We're skipping 6th. Just do it after class, guys. Come on. Cute. Captain Allegra and the first mate. Your costume? My costume. Uh-huh. Whoa. Sam's dark room. Do not enter if red lights are on. It's so creepy that it's making so much sound over here. Darn. Okay. We gotta go check out this secret passage. Where is it? A lot of Bibles. It's supposed to be opening. Oh, there it goes. I gotta get out of the way. There it goes. What are we gonna find down there?